session, we're going to learn how Rakuten Mobile, in partnership with Dell and Intel, are launching a new class of distributed unit, one that is generation independent beyond 5G by combining expertise and intelligence from the three companies. The Mirai X-Gen distributed unit combines intelligence from the three companies that is ready for AI workloads, can deliver significant energy savings and improved TCO. When deployed at scale, this has the potential to save vast sums for mobile network operators. Welcome to my panelists. Thank you all very much for joining. We'll get right into this because we're slightly behind schedule. So, Sudhakar, great pleasure to have you here with us today. Can you give our audience an introduction on Mirai X-Gen, what it is, and why it was created?
Okay, thanks, Jim, for putting this panel together. I'm very excited with my colleagues from Dell, Intel, and Symphony. In MWC 2026, we are going to introduce the product called Mirai X-Gen. And let me give a philosophy behind what Mirai X-Gen is. Mirai is a Japanese word, and meaning of that is future. X means it is not associated with any specific technology, whether it's 4G, 5G, or any technology can carry this workload. So that's how this product was named Mirai X-Gen. And what it is, so basically there is a more and more need for the data. So how we can increase the capacity, this is one of the intent, but that is not the only intent. How we can build the product which is future ready. So that's how the concept of Mirai Gen started. And then in collaboration with Dell, so Dell is providing hardware which is best in class, and then silicon coming from Intel, which is Intel Xeon 6G SoC, which is latest chipset provided by Intel, and we are collaborating and putting this together as a product.
Thank you very much for getting us underway, Sudhakar. So we're also joined by Andrew Vaz, the Vice President of Product Management at Dell. Andrew, can you talk us through some of the overall design elements that went into this product and some of the thought process that Dell has contributed in this respect?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, thank you everybody for the collaboration. The way I would articulate it is we were given a very interesting problem set from our colleagues at Rakuten. Think about this. We just talked about the need for data at the edge. So the ability to actually bring high performance compute to these very far edge sites and ruggedize it, make sure it can handle the environmentals and handle all those capabilities becomes a very interesting problem set. So from a design element perspective, we really focused a lot on weatherproofing it, making sure these elements that might be sitting on a pole could handle like typhoon type conditions, environmental ruggedness, handle the fan out and the performance capabilities needed for 4G, 5G, 6G, and even AI edge capabilities. So partnering with everybody to do this, implementing the closed loop liquid cooled solutions. We have an IP66 capable solution, the size of a backpack, 15 liters, sub 18 kilograms, that you can pretty much hang anywhere to bring the solution sets all the way to the edge, to the enterprises, to the end customers.
And just to add to that, can you also talk us through some of the energy efficiency and AI workload capabilities that Mirai X-Gen has, and how have Dell and Intel collaborated to make this so powerful?
So I would like to thank Intel, because I would say with this next-gen Xeon 6 chip, there's been some very important innovations on the Intel side that have enabled us to implement this. So the integrated networking capability, first of all, we're able to basically integrate about 200 gigs worth of networking capabilities right into the chip, into the SoC. Which has been a huge benefit of us in terms of shrinking the footprint and enabling it. Also, if we look at the integrated L1 vRAN boost capabilities, as well as the advanced instruction sets for AI, we really have a winner at the edge for offering any type of the next-gen capabilities that Rakuten's been looking for.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Vishal. So we have here Vishal Gupta, the General Manager of Intel's RAN business. So if you could talk us through the Intel Xeon 6 SoC processor architecture, How have you been able to deliver architectural changes based on previous iterations that are going to deliver this new level of performance? And if you can also talk us through the integrated accelerator card feature in particular, some of those benefits.
Excellent. Thank you, Sudhakar, for inviting us for the panel and getting together with the team. First of all, I would actually like to congratulate Rakuten Mobile. Not many people know that Rakuten Mobile is the world's largest deployment of Open RAN network with over 100,000 sites across various generations of technologies. Intel and the speed at which we worked on Intel Xeon 6 SoC, it was last year at this conference that we got Sharad and Dell team together. And the challenge was given to Sudhakar to deliver that, and that you actually can see this at Intel booths. We have ruggedized DUs deployed over there, and I'm sure it's at the Dell booth and it's out here as well. So the speed that with which we worked is been a collaboration that's been going back to 2018, and we are now deploying a fourth generation of architecture, four different generations of architecture at Rakuten since 2018, 2019. The latest, if you look at how we added various technologies that Andrew was alluding to, right? We started with accelerator, which is, we call it vRAN Boost in a previous generation product. And with the latest Intel Xeon 6, it's Boost Plus. But what we are most excited about that is you're going to have a 6G ready accelerator, which we call 6G ready vRAN Boost in our next generation chipsets. So guess what? When Sudhakar cooks up a nice new name for next generation DU, you'll have the same extensible capability over there. Same with AMX, that advanced matrix extensions that Andrew was talking about. You used it in previous generations for saving energy, and now you're doing AI workloads on Intel Xeon 6. So it's amazing how we have collaborated, and I think there's a demo in their booth as well on the AI RAN piece that we're doing over there. And all these technologies are able to bring that value and save vast amounts of sum for Rakuten Mobile. And that's what is going to allow the Rakuten Symphony group to take all this goodness and deploy it at global level.
Just if I can ask you a couple of follow-up questions there, if possible.
Sure.
I mean, you talk about being generation independent and 6G ready. Can you offer some sort of comment on what that looks like and why that's so important?
It's important because you don't have to redo your whole hardware and software. Remember, we are just supplying a part of the chip, right? We're just a chip. But they are deploying, Rakuten Mobile has achieved, level 4 autonomy, one of the few networks in the world. They don't have to redo their softwares as they go gen over gen, right? So that's the advantage that we are kind of bringing along with Dell and the whole ecosystem and other Rakuten group companies like Rakuten Symphony. So you're deploying those technologies out there, so your total cost of ownership goes down significantly.
Thank you very much, Vishal. I'm sorry. You want?
Just to add on what Vishal has said, our network philosophy is based on software-defined interval network. So thus DU will support 4G, 5G, multi-rad. That means 4G, 5G together can be used on a single box. So that's why it's kind of generation independent. And also, since we are bringing this DU at the edge, that means we are bringing intelligence at the edge. And the era of AI, it's very important how you are keeping the data close to the user. So that's how it's not only 4G, 5G, but it's beyond as well.
Thank you very much, Sudhakar. Devesh, let's move on to you now. So we're joined by Devesh Gautam, SVP of Solutions Architecture at Rakuten Symphony. Thank you very much for joining us, Devesh. I suppose a very key question really is how this architecture, how this product, the Mirai X-Gen distributed unit, is that going to be available to other mobile network operators? And is that something that they can look to take full advantage of?
Thank you so much, first of all, for this opportunity and being part of this panel. So I'll start with Vishal. Thanks for this long-term Intel partnership with Rakuten, which is bringing the value and aligned with our vision, what we are offering to the customer. Thanks Dell to be our design partner and giving the most innovative outdoor product which we can sell it to the customer anywhere in the globe. And thanks Sudhakar to be a first customer to utilize the Rakuten Symphony solution from the RAN point of view. So to answer your particular question, so when we started looking at it from engineering point of view in the Rakuten Symphony, the vision was completely aligned with Intel and Rakuten Mobile, how we can create the future. So it's not just limited to 4G. It should be supporting 5G, 5G advanced, and in future 6G, right? And that comes to the part, what are the key use cases and the demands which we are getting from the customers. So they are not just looking for the RAN solution right now. They are looking for the partner who can bring them the future in the table, right? It's not just limited to RAN. It does enable the edge solutions, edge applications, and the innovation which we have to do for 5G advanced and 6G. Like with Dell, we are going to work very closely for the innovation, how we can bring the networking stack as well along with the RAN to give better cost effective solution to the customer. So we already started discussions with multiple big customers and started curating the use cases in the solution. And our idea is to bring this solution live, quarter 3 of this year. That is our target. And that's how we are looking forward for this technology to roll out.
I mean, just to link back to something you've mentioned previously, I mean, is this a case of building out software rather than building out infrastructure in some cases? It's making sure you have strengthened software capabilities instead of, so you don't have to overspend on infrastructure, perhaps.
100%. It's a
Yeah.
hard truth. And you are going for the outdoor environment. You have to not just harden the hardware, make it ruggedized, but you have to enable your software as well to run perfectly fine in those harsh conditions as well, right? And as well as along with that, the entire solution needs to be secured enough to deploy at the site, at the location. So yes, we are working towards that, and we did phenomenal job to bring that technology available even now for the testing purpose.
Thank you very much, Devesh. Back to you, Sudhakar. So I think what I'd be keen to hear more about is something that Vishal has mentioned there in terms of this evolution compared to previous meetings and previous expectations. Can we talk about how Rakuten Mobile has evolved its approach in that sense and how we've got from point A to point B to make this product a reality?
So just give the context with the numbers that what value we are bringing with this product. So we started with Jan 1 and probably 2021 we have announced that product. And one of the focus area while building this next generation product, how we can make the design slimmer so that it will be lightweight, and how we can optimize the sustainability aspects of it. So if you see from first generation, we have saved somewhere around 35 to 40% of the power what is consumed in Jan 1 versus the latest Mirai Exchange. Similarly, for capacity, if you see what is Jan 1, which is somewhere around 2.7 to 3x capacity we have increased. And also in terms of volume, it was around 45, which is huge gain in terms of putting the site where it can be the places where in acquisition are difficult because of weight. That has been significantly solved. And in terms of sustainability, there was special drive because ongoing energy issues which across the globe. So if you see, we are a strong believer that it's not only capacity or speed which makes the network better. How we are using per watt in terms of converting that to Mbps, how greener network which we are building. So that was one of the key focus area while designing this product. So there will be a lot of curiosity since we are launching here this product where we are talking about this in public for the first time. So our request that these units are available in Dell, Intel as well as Rakuten booth. There are teams available who can guide you and give you more information about what the product is.
Thank you very much. Back to you, Andrew. Actually, something we haven't precisely touched upon is how these integrations and updates can improve overall TCO. I'd really be keen to hear your perspective on some of the specifics of just how this new line of product can deliver that improved overall, well, not just performance, but improved TCO as well.
Yeah, I think what we have in front of us is a device that operates on multiple dimensions. If I look at our previous gen servers that were handling these use cases, we're potentially able to collapse 3 into 1 in terms of the savings, in terms of the capabilities, in terms of the power, the performance, the bandwidth, etc. If you look at it from a power and cooling perspective, we're able to, in this system, actually cool about 500 watts with about a 30 watt input, which is fantastic. The technology in this system just has not been done before in this scale, and the ability to shrink wrap it into such a profile and such a footprint. So massive savings due to performance, network integration, specific capabilities, as well as the power and the cooling pieces that we've implemented in terms of the closed loop cooling capabilities that we have. So we're pretty excited about this. The other thing I don't want to undermine at all is really the capabilities. This is not just a next gen DU as was stated. This is actually a next gen mini data center that we're actually being able to bring out to the users, which means it's a variety of applications, edge AI, combined with the RAN capabilities that are going to make this really an unbeatable system. So
Thank you. Excellent. We're coming towards the end of our time. Any final thoughts from anybody here? Vishal, you look like you're eager to contribute.
No, I just want to extend on Andrew's comment. I think the way you want to think of this platform, if you will, that Rakuten is building is you can scale it vertically up and down or horizontally left or right. So you can put it out over there in a rural coverage area, or you can make a mini data center out of it. So that's the beauty of this platform that's being built. You mentioned generation independent, but it's really a platform that can go for a very, very long time.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think the energy saving is one of the key area, and would like to share the entire solutioning which we are offering to the customer right now. It's highly tightly combined with our level 4 autonomy TM Forum certified energy saving which we have achieved recently. So the stack, the abstraction layer is coming with that solution as well. So as a Rakuten Symphony, we are not just providing this solution as a hardware, but it's highly innovative software layer plus abstraction layer of the high autonomy of level 4 of energy saving, which is really important for the customers.
And thank you. Siddhartha, would you like to get the final word on this?
Okay, so in terms of key takeaways, this is a collaboration wherein Rakuten Mobile is built a kind of world first open RAN at the scale, and our philosophy is software defined and driven, independent of the hardware. We are bringing Dell, who's having proven track record in terms of hardware, so that's value. Dell is adding, and of course Intel is long partner for RMI from the inception of the network. We continue that collaboration, and the wish is here to take that to the global market. So once it's kind of tested, validated, deployed in Japan, it's quality product and good to go to the global market.
Thank you very much. And just a reminder that the Mirai X-Gen distributed unit is on display at the Rakuten, Dell, and Intel stands at MWC Barcelona. That brings an end to our discussion. Thank you all very much to our panelists. Please give our panelists a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking part.